everybody wants to talk about slow food, but they want it now. You know what I mean? It's a hypocritical world we're living in. I can't figure it out. I'm just trying to do whatever I can do and not get myself in trouble. That's it. My name is Bobby Chinn. I kind of consider myself a chef when I have a restaurant. I do mostly television these days. I'm the ambassador for tourism to the EU for Vietnam. I worked with WWF on sustainable seafood for Asia, as well as the Coral Triangle, which is the largest coral reefs. It's the Amazon of the sea, in a nutshell. Egyptian Chinese, a bit of a mutt. That's about it. So, like, the whole idea of a chef for me was a source of was like an algebraic equation. It wasn't that I knew I was going to be a chef. I just knew I didn't want to work on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. I didn't want to work wearing a suit and tie. Hey, Joey, oh yeah, I didn't want to do that. Well, it's a really tough job. Okay, so the whole rock star business started that they had to play all these gigs all the time, and then drugs and alcohol were kind of like a way to pick it up as well as take it down. Chefs, we have that same kind of lifestyle. I mean, we're working under pressure, racing against time to get our mise en place ready to go, and then we're going to generally have a maniacal human being at the other end screaming to get their dishes timed perfectly, and the pressure. There's a lot of pressure in this job. The media plays a huge part in that, where all of a sudden everybody wants to see the guy with the white jacket that looks like a doctor, right? And has a wine glass, which is very expensive, right? So we all recognize he's got a wine there. He's got his backdrop of his restaurant, and he just looks like really rich and successful and well-to-do. And so chefs have become this lifestyle connection, right? So it's like we're connected to the sea, the land, climate change, equal rights. I mean, it's a microcosm of the big world out there. Okay. I think a lot of chefs, when I was watching the chefs and we were talking about food, the line was, you got to respect the ingredients, right? Like, we got to maximize it and cook it perfectly and not waste it. But what they were using was an endangered species. They're doing something that's not sustainable. That's changed. That's been amplified now, where all of a sudden, wait a sec, is it part of the MSC certified program, marine sort of, I can't remember, my brain's a little tired because I live like a rock star. All right, this whole social media thing is bringing, you got to do all the right, people that need to be politically correct now. Can't say anything. Otherwise, they shoot you down. I'm Egyptian. I was asked to write about, sustainable, loving, caring restaurants. I'm like, in Egypt? Are you insane? There's nothing. It doesn't exist. No one cares. This is a first world problem, although it's a global problem. Yeah, we should all want to take the woman on the side of the street, okay, who's been cooking one dish for 3 generations and ask for her opinion, and she wouldn't know what you're talking about. She's like, hey, I come here every day, I put my stool over here, I cook, and this other stuff, that's not my gig. This is a social economic problem. It's a global problem, and you need someone that is articulate, that actually knows it, that works with the farmers, that understands the policies of our government, that is interested in all this stuff, takes it all in, and then can apply it. People are going to start educating themselves because you got leaders in the industry that have a platform that we're all listening to, and then we strive to be better. And I think that those great chefs, like a Dan Barber, is at the forefront of it. Chefs, generally speaking, are very giving, hospitable. You can't do this job unless you want to make people happy. You got to nurture the whole thing. And I think that is once again amplified, where all of a sudden, you're seeing stuff that most people don't get to see. Now you're going to share it, and you become very strong in those types of beliefs, which are good things. When someone pays you to travel and then go cook with your culinary heroes and get an education, right, where you got a fast track, go to the wet market and see what the people are eating. I wasn't really good at geography. I wasn't interested in history. And all of a sudden I got a job doing that. I'm afraid of speaking publicly, and all of a sudden that becomes your job, and you're like, wait a second, I got to get good at this one day, and then you just kind of like roll with the punches and just go do it. But yeah, I guess you are going to promote the privilege that you have, because if you complain about it, like, fuck off, you know.
So do you think chefs can save the world, or what? How far can they go in that way?
Save the world? My goodness. That's a nice idea. They will be one of the clogs in the system that can help, because they do have the ability to generate media. The media just wants to eat this stuff up. No pun intended.